What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Unplayable. I'm Mike here with Jay and Jim, and we're going to talk about some more Star Wars Unlimited spoilers. Let's just dive right into it, guys. Yeah, so first up,
We got a lot. We got a lot in that live stream.
There were a lot in that live stream. That live stream was great. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. So first, we've got Vanguard infantry. It is a 1-cost ground unit. It's green. It's a 1/2 trooper, and when defeated, you may give an experience token to a unit.
All right.
So
it is neutral, so you can go in either deck, but it seems like it's targeted for Tarkin almost like.
Well, it's not Imperial though.
Oh yeah, it's not. Yeah. So
yeah, that's what's interesting about this card, because I'm like, you'd never want to do like a green card like this that is just universally put in every single deck. And I think this barely tiptoes that line of like, I don't think it goes in every green deck, but I do think it's really good. Like experience tokens we've seen are pretty busted in this game if you're able to get that advantage.
Yeah. Do you have? I feel like you have to play this alongside another 1-cost card on turn 1 for this to be worthwhile. And then you also have to, like, your opponent probably plays a 2-cost card. They kill the other card so that you can't give it an experience token when this dies, but then you can play a card. So I think it's a little tricky in like how you actually get advantage around it. I think like whether or not this is good will hinge on how easy it is for your opponent to play around it. Yep. If this was Imperial, I would say this card's cracked because, you play as turn 1 with Tarkin, you make it a 2/3 and you're just like happy. Yeah. Because then it is a lot less likely to die to whatever your opponent played. And you can play something the next turn and buff that after you attack in. So
why does it seem like it should be an Imperial card?
It should, because it's a mud trooper. Yeah. I was very confused. I'm still very confused at why this is not Imperial.
I'm very
other than the mechanics of it. Like maybe they thought it would be too good with Tarkin. That's the only thing I can really think of.
My guess is it started that way, and like as far as like trying to, I don't know how you try to balance something like this that feels fairly generic, but yeah, it was probably like, hey, we just need to just not even mess with it.
Yeah, maybe like they had designed the card and maybe this wasn't the intended art for it as well. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, it's cool, a little weird. That's not Imperial, but it's cool. I think draft, it's probably not good because I don't think you're very likely to be able to drop 2 1-drops on turn 1 versus 1 2-drop. And like, it's not really that good when you play it later in the game. I feel like you'd rather just pay 1 for an experience if that were a card. This is very conditional.
It's like, can this ever open up like Sabine to go into green? It's kind of like where my thoughts are of like, okay, if you're trying to go super low to the ground with Sabine, does something like this potentially allow for that? Is kind of where my head's
if your turn 1 is like this plus like Spec Force Soldier or something like that, I mean, your opponent probably just immediately trades into your Spec Force Soldier, but then maybe you can play something and then run this into one of their things. But then like you're not dealing damage to them. You're just buffing one of your own units and dealing 1 damage to something. If this was a 2/1, I think it would be potentially
so better, different as a 2/1.
It'd be way different because you could actually like threaten either their life total or unit more effectively. So I don't know, not super pumped about this card. Let's move on to the next card, which is a card that I'm very pumped about. It's Heroic Sacrifice. It's a 1-cost event. It's red and hero, and it says draw a card and then attack with a unit. For this attack, it gets +2/+0 and gains when this unit deals combat damage, defeat it.
It's got artwork of K2SO on it.
Yeah, that's what a coincidence.
Yeah, I mean, this card is super good with K2.
It's insane with K2.
It's basically 9 damage, right? You swing in with K2 into base with 4+2, which is 6. And then he dies and you get to deal 3 extra.
Yep. Exactly.
That seems like a lot of reach.
I think like when you look at it, you may think like, oh, the math is just that, oh, you're just getting 2 more damage than you would have otherwise. But the fact that you get to defeat K2 when you attack in with this 1 card means that you can deal that 9 damage in a single action. And you're not reliant on your opponent then killing K2 on their own, which they're probably not going to want to do unless they like feel like they really need to. So this is a way to completely like mitigate that, not downside, but that element of K2, and just lets you just go straight to the face for 9 damage immediately with 1 action, which is crazy.
It seems like just an incredible closer. Like if you get them to 9 health left, this just closes the game.
Which isn't that hard to do in Sabine.
No. And like you can do this very early on in the game with like lethal on board. Like
I think this card makes Sabine at least like 25% better. That might be crazy to say.
Do you ever play this?
I think it's so good.
And not target K2 with it?
I think
or
sometimes you might need to.
Game.
I think if you need to, you can do that, but that obviously what you want to do is use this with K2. Maybe there's other like when defeated abilities that this can pop off with in the future.
Or like every now and then they will put like that pesky sentinel out that it's just the extra 2 damage like, is what you need to like chop through that and go back to phase. So it's possible. Have you been putting K2SO in all of your Sabine decks?
Oh yeah, 1000%. I would not play Sabine without these 2 cards.
I would say you've been the Sabine guy, so I haven't played nearly as many games, so I didn't know if like 4 drops were like that much of a premium, or if like K2SO is still just like
K2 is the best one for sure.
Cool. Yeah, and this one does make me be like, shoot, I have to kill that, which means I am taking 3 to the face. Where normally I'd be like, can I just let this live? Like you just can't anymore.
Yeah, it's super interesting. It highlights how important the action trading is.
Yeah.
And I think because it cheats that is why it's so powerful with K2 specifically. I don't think I'm as excited to put this in a deck that K2 isn't already in.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're going really hard into some when defeated strategies or cards that I haven't really thought about yet. So
like the Vanguard.
Use this with Vanguard and see how that goes.
That's
I mean, that Sabine deck's coming right along.
It builds itself.
Sabine green.
All right, next up we've got AT-AT Suppressor. It's an 8 cost ground unit. It is blue villain. It's an 8/8 Imperial Vehicle Walker. And when played, exhaust all ground units.
I think you said it wrong. It's AT-AT.
Oh, is that so?
Is it really? AT-AT.
You said 8/8.
I said AT-AT, right?
Yeah,
AT-AT.
I know, but it's
Is it not? Oh, it's an 8/8.
That joke.
I get it now. That's pretty great, actually.
That took forever to get. And I'm just like, he's a wizard.
I didn't get that at first either. I'm slow today. That makes me like this card way better.
So, oh man, I'm like, could this potentially save your game? Is kind of what I'm looking at on this card. Like the amount of games we've played where you get towards the late game and it's like, if I don't take initiative, I just die.
I don't think this helps you.
You said you don't or do?
I don't think so. Because like this doesn't come in ready.
Right.
Like, don't you just die the next turn?
Yeah. So like the only way that it keeps you alive is if you've mostly been playing into space and you've somehow cleared their space and then you play this to stop what's happening on the ground side.
Close out, maybe.
I personally haven't seen gameplay like that where it's like, oh yeah, that seems like a viable strategy to like stay alive and like, swing the, momentum back in your favor. But that's kind of where I feel like if this card was ever going to be good is like how that would happen. I think currently I don't know. I'm not seeing the combos or play lines here.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems fine. Like if you're playing just a super stall deck, then maybe this is good. If you're trying, I don't know. If there's a mill deck that exists in blue, then this is fine because you don't care about exhausting your own ground units and you're just trying to delay your opponent from being able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of a stall deck, this seems kind of bad.
Yeah, like it technically does something when it enters play at 8, but I feel like I want to do something more exciting than this because you have to have a board presence before this drops. Otherwise, you can't really. Well, yeah, you're adjusting your own.
Presence,
yeah, you have to have space.
But it has to be a space board.
I don't think this card's good at all. I think like in draft it's an 8/8, an AT-AT. Sorry, and that's cool. But I can't imagine wanting this in a constructed deck.
Yeah, it seems bad.
Unless there's a card that's really cheap that can pair with this, or a space unit or something like that you already have on the board that lets you, I don't know, kill all exhausted units or do damage to all exhausted units or something like that. That's a lot to ask.
Because this is your entire turn. And so it's like if your hero costed 8 and then you could bring your leader, that's on me. If you get your leader out at that same time, but like Vader's the highest cost villain at 7. So you're already having Vader out. So you're not even utilizing, I don't know. I'm still trying to see any sort of possibilities here.
Maybe the play is like your opponent's at 22 damage.
Right.
And you play this, you exhaust everything so they can't do anything. And now they either have to claim or lose.
Yeah.
And then you get to do the rest of the stuff for your turn, or you claim and you swing in for 8.
But what's the rest of your stuff on your turn when you've already spent 8 resources?
You know, attack
whatever
with
you
your
have in space.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Cargo Juggernaut. It is a 6-cost blue ground unit, and it's a 4/6 vehicle and tank. Has shielded, and when played, if you control another blue unit, heal 4 damage from your base.
I like seeing monocolor strategies, which we've seen multiple of. Like Bethnick, I think, is the one that does the red buff. I like seeing that. Now, is this card good? It seems fine. I think it'll be super good in draft.
Yeah. This seems like a very good draft card. You get to stabilize your base, and it's a 4/6 shielded, which seems pretty beefy.
Yeah, I think it's fine. If there's heal decks that start popping up, then this probably slots right into it really well.
I've been trying this out in double blue Luke. It's been kind of interesting. It's also a ground vehicle, so it works pretty well with Wedge, and it comes out the turn after Wedge if there's a deck that wants that. Nice. You know, it can come in as a 4/7 with or a 5/7 with ambush and shielded and heal your base for 4. So like that seems pretty powerful. But yeah, to heal your base for 4, you also have to have a blue unit. So yeah, just stacking conditions in order to make it good.
Yep.
All right. Next card, we've got Devotion. It's a 2-cost upgrade. It's blue. Attached unit gains Restore 2, and it also gains +1/+1.
The artwork's cool.
Yeah, I love the artwork on this.
It's a little too similar to the token, the experience token. It's like the same scene, basically. But I like the artwork on here.
Wait, I was glad that wasn't toilet paper rolls that were behind it. That was my initial concern. I was like, wrecking that toilet. Let me tell you.
That's hilarious. I see it now.
I'm never going to unsee that.
No. Sorry about that, y'all. All of the world. I like this idea. I think if I see Restore on a card, it at least makes me think through like control deck strategies and like, could I make it work? And so an upgrade that allows for that to play out, I think is great. +1/+1's not nothing. We've seen experience tokens really like turn the tide in games before, and that's kind of what this is serving as. So spending 2 to get +1 and heal 2 from your base, like the turn you play it pretty much every time. I don't hate it.
I think it's kind of bad.
I don't like, it's not like amazing. It's like I'd rather this be on a unit, but
I don't think this ever sees play.
Really?
I think in draft it could.
In draft it's maybe fine.
It's hard to justify playing this kind of upgrade on a unit, I think, because you're not really affecting the board with it that much. You're giving it +1/+1. I think like the upgrades that people generally play right now are like the lightsabers, which have, you know, either give it +3/+1 or +3/+3. Even entrenched, you know, gives the unit +3/+3, which makes them a lot more resilient than this does. And you don't want to get 2 for 1. But maybe you're playing in the arena that your opponent's not in, and you can put this on a unit that they're not ever going to be able to kill, and it becomes good that way. I don't know. I like that you get the Restore right away, basically. Yeah. But you want to make sure that your opponent can't kill the unit that you were going to put this on before you play this. Otherwise, that is going to suck.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
So, worth playing around with for sure. But I think I'm siding with Jay on this one.
Cool.
All right. Next card, Make an Opening. It's a 3-cost event. It's blue, and it's give a unit -2/-2 for this phase. Heal 2 damage from your base.
The artwork is sick.
Yeah,
this one looks really cool.
Yeah, I love the colors. Like the like laser light that's sort of highlighting the front of the Death Trooper.
Is this what?
The first card with Baze
card?
It might be.
Does that mean we're gonna get Baze?
Is
he gonna be a leader?
Love that.
We have all the other Rogue One crew, so
it's true.
We should get Baze.
I think this is fine. Like
it's I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this one. It costs 3. You only give a unit -2/-2. Like, wouldn't you rather just play Open Fire and hit something for 4?
Yeah.
Maybe you can't because you're not in those colors, but
I mean, even like in blue already, just there's the one that's if they have like the health threshold for 1 more than this.
Yeah.
It's like
takedown's way better than this.
I feel like the -2 attack is like it could come into play, but I would almost rather just have the like just pop them off the board. I think if I was going to play this, it's like, is the heal 2 damage from your base ever actually worthwhile? And it's like I don't even know how to like really evaluate that in like total cost, but it can't be more than 1. So
this card seems terrible to me.
Yeah.
The cost is just terrible.
I don't think it's very good. Like,
Never gonna be
generally,
played.
you're not really getting value out of the heal 2 from your base part unless you're about to die. And then, I don't know, you probably could have done other things that are better than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in like against Sabine, I would rather just play something on the board that's going to stick rather than just a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the next one, which is Mon Mothma, Voice of the Rebellion. She is a 2-cost ground unit, green hero, 1/3 rebel official. And when played, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a rebel card, reveal it, and draw it.
Seems good to me.
Yeah.
Turn 1 drop that lets you search for something. Seems pretty good. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that if there is a card that is super crucial to your deck, or like some kind of weird combo where you're able to play this turn 1 and fetch exactly what you need for something, then this could get out of hand. But yeah, I think she's decent.
Yeah.
Without that, but still pretty good. She's a rebel. She's an official. The downside is she's in hero green.
And she's a 1/3 for 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stats are definitely not desirable there, but
I wish she was a 1/4 at least. But maybe that.
Yeah, tutors in game though get real scary real quick. So I understand the like hesitation on that one, but
I don't know, like so I've been playing a lot of Leia and playing a more control-y version of Leia as well. And I don't even know if I would play this. Like, I think I don't know. Like, would you rather play this or would you rather play just the vanilla 3/3 for the same cost? I think
the question there.
It probably is matchup dependent. Maybe Mon Mothma is like a sideboard card against like a control deck where you need more total threats. But I just don't know. Yeah, like, it's not that bad if you like use her to grab like a wing leader to buff her to a 3/5. Like, that's not that bad. But it could have been a 5/5 if you just played the 3/3.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this one. Definitely gonna try it out and see how it feels. But the Rebel Synergy stuff is really good, I think. Yeah, so this helps push that, which is very cool. All right, next card. We've got Steadfast Battalion. It's a 5-cost ground unit. It's green, and it's a 5/5 trooper with Overwhelm. And on attack, if you control a leader unit, give a friendly unit +2/+2 for this phase.
That's interesting. Seems pretty good.
Seems kind of like a draft bomb.
That's what I was thinking about it. Yeah. Like, stats and draft is where you want to be. If you can pull those incremental advantages, you're feeling great. I think, in constructed styles, it's less good by quite a bit.
If it attacks once, it's basically a 7/7. And if it attacks twice, it's a 9/9. Like,
I don't
sort of like,
yeah,
you're gaining the extra stats. It is only for that phase, but it can help you make good trades. It can help you like trade up into other units, or it can help you just push more damage.
Oh yeah, it's on attack. This seems kind of bad.
I don't think this is a constructed card for sure. Like,
no,
you can't pay 5 to not do anything in constructed.
I was like, is there a way to like be able to ready this and like use it twice in one turn? Because now we're talking if we can do that.
You can give this ambush with the conversation lab.
Okay, conversation lab. Love it.
Seems fine.
And like, if your leader comes out the same turn, you could give your leader the +2/+2 as well. So not that bad. I could see like if you're drafting Leia and you put this in your deck, she flips when you have 5 resources. You play this with ambush. I mean, you'd have to get Energy Conversation Lab in your draft if that was the case, but I don't know.
You go IG88 Conversation Lab. You flip IG88 on turn 5. You play this guy down, swing in for 6 with Overwhelm because of the raid 1 from IG88.
Yeah, good call.
And then IG88 gets +2/+2, so
and hits for 7/6. I like it. Now you're talking.
And now he doesn't get takedown.
You just made IG88 good.
Cracked the code.
Easy.
All in a day's work.
All right, next up, we've got Mercenary Company. It is a 6-cost ground unit. It's also green. It's also a 5/5, and it's Underworld Trooper. Has ambush and overwhelm.
I do like that it's ambush and overwhelm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
but 6 is a lot.
It is a lot.
I think it'll be really good in draft, maybe.
Yeah, it's a common, so it makes me think it's also a draft card.
Yeah.
But
I think this is
pretty good as a draft card. I think
home run in a draft. Yeah, like
yeah.
Worst case scenario, 5 damage out of hand. Best case is again going through Sentinel, going through like taking out leaders unexpectedly. I think especially in green, you don't expect this nearly as much as in like against yellow. You'd be like, okay, watch for those combat tricks.
Yeah. Being able to surprise attack in for 5 with the card from your hand that hopefully sticks around afterwards is like you probably get a 2-for-1 with this card in a draft.
Oh yeah,
that's definitely what you want to be doing.
Yep.
Okay, next we've got Traitorous. It's a 5-cost green upgrade. When this upgrade becomes attached to a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less, take control of that unit. And when this upgrade becomes unattached from a unit, that unit's owner takes control of it.
That's interesting.
Super interesting card.
It's a cheaper change of heart, except it can only target 3 or less cost units. But there's
and it also sticks on the character, like on the unit for as long as the upgrade's on it. Change of heart, it goes back at the end of the turn.
Right. There are some pretty good 3-cost units though. Like Fifth Brother's a 3-cost unit.
Fifth Brother, Boba.
Yeah.
Yoda with a lightsaber.
Yeah, like if they give Fifth Brother a lightsaber or something, and you're able to put this on him.
That feels good.
My word. That's a game ender.
Yeah. I think it's so much better if upgrades are popular.
Yeah, I agree. If upgrades are a strategy, this is probably pretty good.
I mean, even against Tarkin, like a beefed up General Veers or something.
True. Yeah. With like a bunch of experience tokens or a Royal Guard or something like that. That's pretty sweet.
I think this is a good card to have in your deck. We know sideboards are a thing, but like you can always just ink this anyway or resource it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It seems like such a toolbox card.
Yeah.
To play against anything that has upgrades in it.
And it's ready. So it's like you get to use that creature against them that turn.
If you take it before they've used it.
If they've already used, you're right.
Yeah, but I mean, definitely super spicy card. A lot of cool plays that you can make with this. Yeah. All right. Next, we've got Strike True. It's a 3-cost green event. A friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to an enemy unit.
I think this is a good card.
Yeah, agreed.
This is especially since it's neutral.
Yeah.
It feels like it can fit in either hero or villain green. It's just like a hard, I guess not hard removal, but it's like damage from hand card. That seems good.
Yeah. It's very similar to Open Fire, but more flexible, I guess. Like Open Fire only ever does 4. This could do less, but it could do a lot more.
Do more.
Yeah. So
it could even do 4
kinds of cards. Yeah.
Y'all are poets and didn't know it over there. Is there like a number threshold in your all's head that it's like, hey, I probably need to build my deck to where most of my units are about this for this to feel justified to put in? Or does this feel like I can probably put this in whatever and it's flexible enough to make work?
I think you want to probably have the ability to use it with units that have higher attack, at least at the point in time when you want to play this card. So I'm thinking like hero, you have the new, like the echo-based defender or whatever it is, the 4/3 sentinel. Like this is decent with that, just turns this into an Open Fire, but it also seems really good with Tarkin when you're buffing up your Imperial units and they can get up to like 5 or 6 attack, and then you can for 3 deal 5 or 6 or something. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's any enemy unit. So it's all of the cards that say non-leaders.
Yeah, leaders too. And a friendly unit includes your leader as well. So so if you're playing
Sabine,
if
Sabine turn 4 and now you can do 5 damage.
Wait, 5
or 4? Is it 4? I don't know.
I think Sabine only has 2 attack herself.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I think a lot of people play Luke with like Luke's lightsaber in it. So you could do this and hit for 7. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was thinking paired with blue or red in particular with the lightsabers. Like if you're already naturally going to put one of those on there, those seem like the best upgrades, at least from what I've seen for your own personal units. That's pretty sweet.
I think it does seem good with like ambush units too that stick around. So you throw down an ambush unit, get to take something out that has, and if it sticks around and it has a high strength, then you get to play this too off of that guy.
Yeah, hit somebody else with it and then make an actual attack. Yeah, super cool card. Also, love the art.
Oh yeah, very cool.
Art's great.
Let's move on. We've got Jeda Agitator. It's a 2-cost red ground unit. It's a 2/1 rebel with Saboteur, and on attack, if you control a leader unit, deal 2 damage to a ground unit or a base. This card's not very good.
Yeah, I don't think it's that good either.
The 1 health is just so rough.
Yeah.
1 health for a 2 cost.
Yeah, and it wants you to have your leader out, and at that point in the game, do you really want a 2/1, like a 2-cost 2/1? Even with Sabine, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah.
She comes out at 4 resources. Like this is dead
have,
long
like,
before
2,
she comes out, for sure.
Seems bad.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. We've got 2 more left. We've got Power Failure. It's a 2-cost red event. Defeat any number of upgrades on a unit. This is a pretty spicy sideboard card, I think.
Yeah. I guess I just haven't played with tons of upgrades. And I don't know.
If you've ever played against Tarkin.
Yeah, experience and shields are upgrades.
They both count.
I forgot about that.
This is great against Luke, because Luke is handing out shields and lightsabers a lot of the time.
We'll just use your Jeda for the Saboteur, and then you can just defeat the shields that way. Easy money.
I agree. It seems fine. If there's ever a situation where they have like a lightsaber on a guy and a shield and experience or something, and you get to take all of it out, then yeah, this has this super high ceiling. But
well, it's any number of upgrades, I think, is what makes it interesting. It's like you can take out all of it. Like, I mean, we all know that this card is bad, but you know, you play not this card, but you play like a Vanguard infantry and it has like 4 experience on it, and then someone just power failures it down to a 1/1, back to a 1/1. That I mean, nobody's playing that card, but there may be other cards that give a bunch of, you know, experience tokens or shield tokens or whatever. It can help you get around entrenched on your own unit. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or Traitorous, as we just looked at.
True.
It's like I see the potential upside here. I'm just like putting.
Okay, how much do you have to be able to remove for it to be good?
But it's like,
all right. So say it's got a lightsaber on it.
Yeah.
6 experience tokens and 3 shields. Is that value enough?
If that's what I'm actually concerned about, I'm tossing Vanquish into my deck for 7 and calling it a day.
But it's only turn 6.
Yeah, this only costs 2.
Right, but it doesn't actually kill the unit unless you've already like dealt damage, and that overcomes the health buff that they've had. So it's you're getting rid of a lot, but you're also just not killing the unit a lot of times for a card in hand. It's less about the cost for me.
Theoretically, is getting rid of a getting rid of like a 3-cost 3/3 upgrade similar to getting rid of a 3-cost 3/3 unit? And would you pay 2 to do that?
I don't know. It's just the fact that the unit's still out there. Like they still have more things that you toss.
A unit is out there. You're still getting rid of a card if it's a
So
it's like a 1-for-1 still, and they're not getting value if you do it before they attack with the unit.
If you
there's a lot of upside I see. For me, it would take a lot for me to be like, oh, Power Failures for sure slotting into this deck.
Yeah, I don't know if it goes into every single deck ever, but I think it's got a place.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
I don't know. All right. Last card we've got is Bounty Hunter Crew. It's a 6-cost yellow villain ground unit, and it's a 4/4 underworld bounty hunter with ambush. And when played, you may return an event from a discard pile to its owner's hand. So just in case you want to be nice, you can give your opponent one of their upgrades or one of their events
deck over here.
Well, if there's like a negative for having it in your hand, though.
Yeah, maybe there's a card that punishes your opponent for the number of cards that they have in their hand.
Or like there's a card that's like poison.
This is the last card in your hand other than your force throw, and you want to put a card into your opponent's hand so that you can force throw it from them.
That's good.
Or like in Marvel Snap where there's the Widow's Bite or whatever.
Oh, there you go. Wow, this is in your hands.
Why was it in their deck in the first place?
Because you put it in their deck. That's why.
Sneaky. I don't hate it though. I like the flexibility to return things from graveyard. I've seen that be very strong in plenty of other card games where if you don't like take care of somebody's graveyard, like there's actively graveyard is often in so many games because
it could be team play.
Good.
Yeah.
So, if I'm playing, if I want my teammate to draw something from their discard pile,
that'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I think there's going to be potential here. I like that this card's in the game. Makes you always at least think. The 4/4 ambush, I'm less crazy about. It's the spicy thing for sure is the win played ability for me.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a good draft card. You get a 4/4 ambush, which hopefully you're killing something that only has 3 power, so you get to live, and then you also get another card back. So just a lot of potential card advantage. Costs 6, which is a little expensive.
6 is a lot. It definitely sets you back that turn.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think this card is awful.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on what you're getting back.
What can you get back on turn 6 that you'll still be able to play? That turn.
Force choke, maybe. Well, on turn 6, nothing.
You're spending your whole turn.
Well, if you're playing
probably
Boba,
not
you could get a
defeat
force choke
anything
back
with the 4/4 ambush and drawing a card.
Yeah, just put this in a Boba deck so you can ready a resource.
I think when you kill the unit. You often can kill something with like a 4/4 on turn 5.
Yeah, I could potentially see this in Boba genuinely, but yeah, the event's got to be spicy.
Yeah. Maybe the turn before you played Bosk and you ambush something, and then now you're playing this and you're ambushing something else, and then you're getting an event back and readying a resource with Boba and then playing that event. I don't know.
I mean, Waylay is good. Maybe Waylay.
Maybe. Yeah. Shoot first or something like that.
Wait, yeah. Could you, if Boba's attacking, you get 3 resources back,
you get 2
right?
back.
Well, yeah, you couldn't. It would have to be the turn that Boba came out.
Yeah, unless you flipped him on turn 6. Yeah.
I was trying to remember how that combo worked to get 3 back, but it's only on the turn that he comes to the field.
For sure.
So
cool.
Sweet.
All right. Well, this was all the cards we had to talk about today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this video, hearing what we think about these cards, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye, y'all.